Hello and welcome to my new scarf pattern. This is a tutorial for a Happy Hippy Scarf. I was asked to create something for an autumn blog hop, and I thought I'm going to videotape this while I'm creating it. I've written up the pattern already, and I've got 7 colors here that I'm going to be using. I tried to use yarn that's a color tone for fall, but you could use all the bright blues and pinks and purples that you would like if you want to make it like that, but I'm just making it for the fall blog hop, so I'm going to make it with the fall colors. So I've got this nice light sort of brown, a green, a yellow. I'm going to use this pumpkin. I've got this Pound of Love, so I'm going to use some of it. Let's see what color this is. This is called pumpkin pie. There you go. We got pumpkin and pumpkin pie. They're all 4 worsted weight yarns, which are also Aran in the UK. And this is a brown that I've just got. I'm using yarn from my stash, so I'm using this brown. It's a nice chocolate brown. And then I'm going to pull this apart. It's something that I was starting to make into a hat, and I like this color, and I really want to put it in my scarf, so I'm just going to frog this out and use it. So that's kind of what the scarf is. It's something that you could use up any of your scrap yarns, because I'm going to be changing colors on every row. And it's going to be a very long scarf, and I hope you like it. Please subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell if you want notifications of when I post new videos or when I go live. And I nearly forgot to tell you what you need for the hook. I have got this N15 10mm hook. So that's what I'm using for this. It's the same hook I use for making my Happy Hippy sweater, which is this sweater here. So it's going to be a loose scarf, like a lacy. And I've got a pair of scissors and I've got a yarn needle. So I'm going to go and get ready to start. So I'm starting with this cafe latte color, this brown, and I'm going to wrap it around my finger twice to create a slip knot. And I pull it over, and then I pull it right off the end, and I have my, there is where I'm going to have my slip knot. Okay, so to start this off, it's going to be a really long scarf. I'm going to make 245 chains. So yarn over and pull it through, and don't make it too tight because we don't want the side of the scarf to pull in. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go until I get 245. Okay, so now I've got my chain of 245, and I'm going to start the first row of the granny stripe stitch. There's going to be some granny stripe stitch in the scarf. There's going to be some double crochet rows and some treble crochet rows. Okay, so I'm going to start off with making the first row of the granny stripe stitch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work down this row. It's going to be row 1, and it will probably end up being the right side. But I don't think with a scarf it really matters. So I'm going to make a double crochet stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. Okay, we've got these big chains because I'm using a big hook, so they're going to be a little bit loose. So I'm going to count 1, 2, there's the 3rd chain. So I'm going to make a double crochet into that chain. It'll all get a little bit easier once we get off the chain row. So that's a double crochet into the chain, 3rd chain from the hook. Now that's acting as 2 double crochets. We're going to count the chain, the first chain 3, those first chains there, that's the turning chain. We're going to count that as 1, and then this is the double crochet. And now we're going to skip 2 of our chains, 1, 2, and then we're going to work 3 double crochet into the next chain. Okay, 1, 2, and it's going to be a big hole, but it's a boho style scarf. Okay, so it's all good. Just looks lacy. So that's 3, and then what we're going to do now is we've made a shell of 3, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and we're going to skip 2 stitches, 2 more chains. Make sure that your chain is lying flat. We're going to skip 1, 2, and then into the next one we are going to make 3 double crochets and make another shell. That's called a shell or a cluster. 1, 2, and 3. And I do have tutorials on my channel on how to make the double crochet So if you don't know how to do that, you can just check out. I'll go through it here. Skip 2, yarn over your hook, put it into the 3rd chain there, and yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through the 2, yarn over. See how I turn my hook when I'm doing this? So yarn over to grab the yarn and then turn it over, and then I always pull with a little bit of tension to pull it through those 2. Okay, so that's 1. I always pull so that you've got a nice open hole to pull your hook through. And 3. And now we have another little cluster. Okay, so we're going to skip 2, we're going to go into the next one, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we're going to look at our chains. 1, 2 there, go into the next one and do 3 double crochets. And we're going to do this all the way across to the end of this very long chain. Okay, 2 and 3. And I'm just going to show you how it's looking. And we are going to have these gappy holes at the bottom, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so we see how we've got these nice 3 double crochet clusters. And when we come down the other side, we'll be working into each of these spaces. Okay, so go ahead and work to the end of this chain, skipping 2, 3 double crochet into the 3rd chain all the way. So now I'm at the end, and when you get to the end, there should be 2 stitches left. I've got 2 stitches left. We're going to skip one of the stitches there, and we are going to work 2 double crochet into the last stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 double crochet here, and into the same stitch 2 double crochets. Now what I've decided I'm going to do with this is, because we are going to be finishing and changing colors at the end of each round, I'm going to leave a long tail, because this is going to become the fringe of the scarf. Okay, we might have to add extra, but I'm just going to leave a long end, and we can tie knots and see how that turns out. So that's the end of the first round, and you can see we've got all of these clusters and how nice and lacy they are. Nice and lacy clusters. Okay, so we're going to change color, and the next color we're going to go to is going to be this green. Okay, so I'm going to get the end of the green. Here we go. And we're going to add the green. So I'm going to use a slip stitch. I'm going to make another slip knot, sorry, and put it, I've got my yarn is still on there. Pull that slip knot tight. I have to be so careful when I'm doing videos, because I say things, they come out automatically, and I don't always say the correct words. Okay, so now we're on to the next round, which is going to be chaining 3, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and now I'm going to turn the work. And see, I've left a long tail there, so that can become the fringe for this green row. So I've chained 3, and I've got all my little odd bits of yarn there. Pull out my scarf that I'm working on, and now I'm going to work 3 double crochet stitches into the first space. Okay, so that's here in between that 2 crochets which were at the end, because we had a 2 crochet into the first there, and we had 2 crochet at the end. So now we're going to go into the space here, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we're going to, I'm just getting my yarn here. All right, and then we're going to go across that cluster and into that chain there, just like you're doing a granny square. We're going to do 3 double crochets into that space in between the 3 double crochet clusters. And then we're going to find the next space, which is there, and we're not going to chain 1 or anything. We're going to go straight into 3 double crochets into that one. Because we're working with a big hook and a number 4 yarn, it gives this really kind of spacey, gappy look, like I have on my sleeves here, look. All right, so once again, we're not going to chain 1 or anything. We're going to go right to the next space here. There's 1, 2, 3 double crochets there, 1, 2, 3 there, and there's that nice space in between. We're going to do 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, oops, sorry, 2, and 3. And this is what it looks like. It's sort of staggered. There's 2 there, 3, 3, 3, all the way across till the very end where there's 2. And here we've got our chain 3, and then we've got 3 double crochet in the space, 3 double crochet in the space, 3 double crochet in the space. So we're going to work all the way down our very long scarf, putting 3 double crochets, a little cluster in each of these spaces. Okay, I'll see you when I get back. Right, so here I am in my last space, and I'm doing 3 double crochet. I've got 1, 2, and 3. That's the last space, and then beside it we've got this chain 3 and double crochet, so it's pretending to be 2 double crochets, right? We're going to do a double crochet into the top of the chain 3. Okay, let's make sure I get it in there. So that's a double crochet into the top of the chain 3, and then I'm going to attach my yellow. So I'm going to make a slip knot, I've cut that green off with a nice long tail so it can be the fringe. I'm going to pull my slip knot through the green and tighten that off. Pull that tight, tighten my slip knot, ready to go for the next color. Okay, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to turn my work here. And what I haven't said, which you'll see if you get the written pattern, is that each of these, when you count across these windows here, okay? Oh, no, sorry, these are shells. We should have 81 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you should count all the way along, and you will have 81 shells. So that's how you know if you're doing it right. Okay, it's going to take a long time to do that, so I'm not going to do that right now. So I've chained 4, and now what we're going to do is we're going to treble crochet into each stitch. So we have to go into the first stitch. To do a treble, we're going to wrap it around twice and put it into the first stitch, yarn over and pull it up. Then go yarn over and pull it through 2. And here I am again, pulling, always having a little bit of tension there. Yarn over, pinch it, and then you can pull it through easily. Pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. Yarn over twice and into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over and pull it through 2. Yarn over and pull it through 2. Yarn over and pull it through 2. And these are treble or triple crochets, and we are going to work a triple crochet into each stitch going down here, and that should be 243 stitches. Okay, my pattern isn't on my blog right now, it's just written up and I'm following it as I make this, but it will be going onto my blog shortly, and you will be able to find the link below eventually when I have posted it. Okay, and you see how these trebles look so nice? So this is what it's starting to look like. I like this look. I think it's going to be a really cool scarf. So treble crochet all the way down to the end with your yellow, okay? So here we are at the end of this row, and I'm just going to do a treble, wrap it around twice, do a treble into this stitch. That's the last one of the cluster. Oh, I think, and then into the top here. Okay, so now we're going to change to a different color because we have our stitches. But if you want to check up, you can always count to make sure you've got 243. So I'm going to cut my yarn. I've got 243. I just checked. I'm going to leave a nice long chain that bit for the fringe, and now I'm going to do row 4, which we're going to be making with the pumpkin. So that's going to be fun. And I'm going to make another slip knot, and my yarn from the previous row is still there. I'm going to pull this one tight, right, and pull it through and tighten that one, tighten all the knots, and then we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be a double crochet row. So we're going to turn our work, and here we are going to double crochet into each stitch, okay? Into the first stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet into each stitch across. Oops, 3. That's my yarn. Okay, so this is how it's starting to look. We've got our granny stripe at there, 2 rows, then we've got our treble, and now we're working on our double. So we're going to work away all along every stitch. We're going to do a double crochet going across row 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. See you later. So here we are at the end of the pumpkin row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is our double crochet row. So I'm just going to double crochet into the last stitches on this row. Oops. There we go. And into that last one. And then I'm going to change color. Okay, so we're going to change color, and this time I'm going to be going to the Pound of Love, which is a huge ball of yarn, but I love the color. It's called Pumpkin Pie, so I'm going to do the Pumpkin Pie. You can use whatever color you want. I'm going to leave a long tail, so I have that as the fringe. Create a slip knot, pull it through the pumpkin, and then tighten both these off. Pull on the long tails. Okay, and now we are going to do another treble or triple row of crochet. So we need to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn the work. And then I love how this is looking. Look at this. It's really, I love it. It's really a cool scarf. So we're going to do a treble crochet for the row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to, after we've done this treble row, we're going to start to do 2 granny stitch rows. Okay, so remember, for the treble we wrap it over the hook twice, we go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2, yarn over, pull it through 2. Wrap it around twice into the next stitch. Let's get rid of all this stuff so you can see what we're doing. Yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, pinch your bottom of your stitches so that it's easy to pull it through. Okay? And this is going to be another row of this long treble, but I really like the look of this already. It looks like a real fall Happy Hippy scarf. I love it. So we're doing the pumpkin pie next, and then we'll be doing our last rows. Okay, so here we are at the end of the treble stitch row. Just going to do one in here and one in here. And there we go. We're going to cut that off. I'm thinking I might do one to the top of this chain 3. The thing about this kind of project is if you haven't got the right amount of stitches, it's not really that important because it's not like a garment or something, it's a scarf, right? So I'm just undoing this little knot here, and then I'm ready to bring in my new color, which will be this mustard color. And we're going to start our granny stripes. So this is going to be kind of like the first row that we did. We're going to just pull this through, make sure I've got the working tail of the yarn, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Turning that work around. This is a really long scarf, but I think it's going to look really cool, especially with the fringes on the ends. Okay, so now we've turned our work, we've chained 3, and we are going to do a double crochet into the same stitch that we have done our chain 3 into. So that's right into there. So that chain 3 going with that double crochet makes it as if it's 2 double crochets. Okay, now what we have to do is skip 2 stitches and work 3 double crochets into the next stitch. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to do 2. How many double crochets? Sorry, 3 double crochets into the next stitch. So we're skipping 2, 1, 1, 2, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next stitch because we're starting these clusters. Let's just make sure. 1, 1, 2. So here we go. 1 double crochet. Sometimes when you get used to making trebles, it's hard to start making doubles. You just have to go over it once. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're going to skip 2 stitches. So that's 1, that's 2, so we're going to go into the third one and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. This is a very lacy fabric. Right, now we're going to skip 3. Skip 2. 1, 2, and go into the third one for 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to, that leaves quite a big gap there, but we're going to skip the next 2, and into the third one we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it's being a bit tight on me there. Okay, so all the way along here we're going to skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next one, skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next one, skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next one, all the way along to the end. So here we are at the end of this row, and I've just done a cluster of 3 into that stitch, and we've got 3 stitches left. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip the last 2 stitches and then make 2 double crochets into that last stitch. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, and now we're going to cut this one off, leaving a nice tail. And we're going to add our last color, which I've chosen to be this chocolate brown. So I think this will make it really nice. We've got all these colors. Starts with a kind of a lighter brown, a gray brown, and then we're going to have this chocolate brown at the end. So this is going to be another granny stripe square, granny stripe row, if I can get it out. It's been a long day making this scarf. So yeah, here we go with the brown. I'm going to make a slip knot and put it on the hook, pull it through, and just like we did earlier, I'm going to turn my work here, and then we are going to be working into that first space. Okay, so a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we work the 3 double crochet shell into this first space, which is right there. We've got those 2 double crochets there, and we're going to go right in. After chaining 3, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that space. 2 and 3. And then we're going to go straight to the next space right here, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into that one. Three double crochets. Now we're going to skip this one and go right into the next space, skip the cluster, go into the next space, do 3 double crochets into the next space. So all the way around this, down this row, we are going to be making 3 double crochets into each one of these spaces between the previous rows clusters. So it's starting to look, I love it. I love the colors on this scarf, and I like that we've got some threads hanging on the end. We're going to put some more fringes on the end when we're done. So this is our last row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is row 7, and this is going to be the last crochet row. So come back at the end of this row and I'll show you how we're going to put our fringes on. So here we are at the end of the last row. I've just done 3 double crochets into the last space, and now I'm going to do a double crochet into the top of this chain 3 here, double crochet in there, and we're going to fasten that off. Cut it and fasten it off. Okay, so now we're left with all of these strands of yarn at the end here, and we can either weave them in and just not have any fringes on the scarf, or we can choose to use the colors that we have been using in the scarf to make, you know, some nice fringes on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of my colors and cut them into the same length strands. Okay, so we have 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what I think we'll do is put 2 fringes on each of these colors. So for each color, if we're going to have 2 fringes, that means and we put 3 strands in each fringe, we're going to need 6 strands for each of our colors. And I'm going to make the strands using this card. It's just a card. So for the yellow, for instance, let's find the yellow. I'm going to wrap it round here. Start here, and I'm going to wrap it round, and I'm going to go around 1, that's 1 strand, 2 strands, 3 strands for 1, and that's just for one end, right? So that's 3 strands. 1, 2, 3 strands for the second tassel that's going on the end there, fringe, and then 1, 2, 3 for one of the tassels on the other side, and then we're going to need another 3. 1, 2, and 3. That's wrapped around there. Okay, so I've done 3 times 4. I'm going to cut that. And then what I like to do is where the ends are, I just put and cut that. And now we have all of our strands here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 3 for each end of the yellow. Okay, we're going to put 3, but I'm going to put 2 on each end of the yellow. So this is going to be the first one. We're just going to ignore that we've got this one here. I'm going to put my hook under. I'm going to grab the middle of that and pull it through, and then go over and pull all those through that loop. Okay, and that is one of our tassels. Okay, so I'm going to get 3 more. 1, 2, 3 more, and make sure they're all lined up. Fold it in half, right, and then going in from the top to the bottom like we did before, we're going to go in to this side of the stitch, grab the 3 strands, pull it through, and then pull all of those through that loop using our nice big end hook. And there we are. We have 2. Okay, and then we can go to the other side and do the other 2. This is a really long scarf. You have to go all the way down to the end. Here it comes. Right, so here we are. We're going to go in from the top, and we're going to pick up 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we are, 1, 2, 3. Fold it in half. Put it in the middle of where it is, right at the top there, and pull that through. And then get all of those strands underneath and pull it through that, right through. Pull it tight, and there we have our nice fringe. So we have to do the other one. There should be 3 strands. Yep, here we are. Wrap it around the card 3 times 4. So we end up with 12, right? Okay, so this one's going to go in here. Pull it through. And pull them all through. You can pinch it like this and pull them through. And there we have our 2 fringes. And we're also going to have the odd yellow one that we left over, right? That's there too. That's okay. All right, so we're going to do that for each color. So we're going to need 12 pumpkins, so we can put 2 in this end and 2 in the other end, and then 12 of the pumpkin pie and 12 of the mustard. So here we are. I've got all my tassels on, and what I decided to do here was where the treble row was, I actually put 3 in there. I put 2 in where there's every double crochet row. I haven't put my 3rd one in here, but I think it might make things a little bit better. So it's up to you. You can put 2 in each one or 1, but I think they just look lovely. And then they just need to be, you go along the bottom and trim them. And what I actually did too is with those extra strands that I left out, I actually chose to either involve them in the tassel, or like this one that's left over, I'm just going to weave it into the scarf. that idea didn't actually pan out. You see this one, it's left over, it's kind of just out on its own. I can try and pull it down through into this tassel if I want, or I can weave it in. It's up to you how you choose to deal with those extra little ends. You can weave them all in before you do your tassels if you want to. That was just a kind of a running idea that I was going with. And here's the other side. I put 3 in here, but I've only got 2 in here. I think I might put another one into that treble row. So that's my Happy Hippy scarf. I think it's quite stunning. I'm going to put some pictures in the end so you can see it on my little mannequin that I have. It's kind of a model shape. Anyway, I love it. I'm really happy with it. It's a beautiful Happy Hippy scarf. Very, very long. And as I said before, you can make it shorter. You don't have to have it all as long as mine is. Okay, so I hope you like it. Please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, hit the little bell and then you'll get notifications. And I'm trying to figure out how to let people know when I'm going live. But I hope you enjoy your Happy Hippy scarf. Happy crocheting, everybody. Love you and thank you for being here with me on Caraway Crochet. Take care.